All right. Hello, hello, hello. Come on in. I hope that y'all are well. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Put a 1 in the comments if you can hear me clearly. So I want to make sure of that. Put a 1 in the comments if you can hear me clearly. Happy Feminine Friday. Let me send this out to a few. All right. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I'm going to get started in just a second. Happy Feminine Friday. For those who do not know who I am, my name is Elle Antoinette. I am a feminine mastery architect. And what I do is that I support my amazing clients who are women leaders. I support ambitious women leaders to harness their feminine energy so that they can master their emotions in business, so that they can eventually have unparalleled creativity, unmatched productivity, and great financial growth in their businesses. I have supported a multitude of women in being able to do this. Ooh, don't let this thing fall. Okay. I've supported a multitude of women in being able to do this. And a huge part of that is supporting my clients. Well, a huge part of them being able to make the type of money that they make, going from 5 figures to 6 figures, or 6 figures to multi 6 figures. A lot of that is centered around their energetics. And when I say their energetics, I'm speaking about their energy and motion, which is their emotions. And I think a lot of people don't realize that for the people who are making money in business, they invest and spend a lot of money when it comes down to investing in things that are going to raise their vibration. And I know people don't really believe that, and people look at that on the outside of it like, okay, I'm not spending my money for that. But people who continuously make money on the regular invest in things that are going to elevate and ascend their energy, because they understand that energetically you have to be at a certain space to be able to receive, to be able to attract, and a lot of those things. And so today specifically, I'm going to be talking about emotional alchemy, and I'm going to support you in understanding how to transform your instability into feminine power, because a lot of women really don't know how to do that. The reason why this is so very important is because a lot of people are currently really unhinged emotionally. And emotional intelligence is literally, and I talked about this yesterday, emotional intelligence is one of those underrated skill sets that you're going to need in 2025 and beyond. So if you struggle with emotional intelligence, yeah. It's going to be something, okay? It's my favorite speaker. Yes, my favorite speakers spend thousands of dollars on books and courses on motivation, period. Because here's the thing, what people don't realize. You're not investing into, like, you're not buying the person's product or service. You're making an investment into yourself, which is why you should be doing the research to know what it is that you need to be investing in. Just human beings in general, we buy a bunch of junk every single year that is not good, that we cannot use, and that's not beneficial to us. And so I think at this time, it's very wise and important to make sure that the things that you are investing in are things that are actually going to support you in ascending. Today I'm going to talk, like I said, about emotional alchemy, which is basically emotional transformation, being able to take you from being all over the place in your emotions to becoming more stable in your emotions so that you can attract what it is that you really, really want. A lot of women are not making the type of money consistently that they want to make in their businesses. They're not attracting the type of community or the type of people that they want into their world. And a lot of that comes from them being in violation of the law of harmony. Okay? There is a law. So this is the thing that people, they don't tell you. Your gurus will get on here and tell you a whole bunch of stuff about the law of attraction and different things like that. But do you understand that there are laws within the law of attraction? There are actually laws that actually put you in position to attract or either to repel. Okay, so it's not just, oh, I just think this and then it's just going to come to me and it works like that. Absolutely not. It's a little bit more than that. And I'm going to be honest with you. If you're emotionally unhinged, if you can't control your emotional responses, if you can't seem to find grounding in your emotions, a lot of that comes from you being in violation or being in rebellion of the law of harmony, which I'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. Okay. So I'm not going to be on here really, really long. But I'm just going to give you a game on what I'm going to give you today and what we're going to get on. I'm going to talk about how you being in violation with the universal law of harmony is impacting you, the consequences, and how you can get a solution to that. I'm going to talk about its impact on your ability to attract what it is that you really want. And then also I'm going to talk about it, why it's a necessity for you to understand and get into alignment with the law of harmony, okay? So it's very, very important and very vital that you're clear and that you understand it. Y'all do me a favor and put in the comments that one, so I can make sure that you guys are hearing me clearly, and also let me know where you are watching from. Okay. And is anyone familiar with the law of harmony? Have you heard of the law of harmony? I know a lot of people are familiar with certain different laws, but a lot of people are not familiar with the law of harmony, and it shows. it shows in a lot of ways when you are not in alignment with the law of harmony, okay? So it's very, 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 very important. Hey, Texas. Hey, look, is that San Antonio, Texas, New York, Miami, Alabama, Little Rock? I hope I'm not missing nobody. But yes, have you guys heard of that? Hey, Tennessee. Y'all, it's another, I cannot. Hey, Dallas. All right, perfection. So we're going to go ahead and lock in. So first things first that you need to understand is that attraction, a lot of times people think attraction is all about how a person looks and how they tend to carry themselves. When more so, attraction more so is about the frequency that you're on and the energy that you give and the aura that comes from you. So the law of harmony basically puts you in position to understand that harmony is operating in sync, operating from a space of synchronicity, okay? And understanding that means that heart, mind, body, everything is in full agreement. When heart, mind, and body are not in full agreement and we make decisions like that, we technically are in rebellion or in violation of the law of harmony and what that actually can do for ourselves and do for our lives. When we violate the law of harmony by causing this type of disruption within the body, what ends up happening is that you find yourself resisting the process, which puts you in position to violate another law, which is known as the law of non-resistance, where you start trying to force things instead of actually have things come to you because you don't really understand law. I try to explain to people the importance of understanding law, because then you can actually use law to benefit your life instead of using it to harm your life or destroy your life or, hold you back in life. Because if you're not accepting, allowing, and understanding these laws, you're probably in a position to where these things are being used against you and you don't even realize it. So I want us to get in a space where we stop doing that and we start actually operating from the space of law. You can actually go into Google, go into Bing, go into and start doing a deep dive research on the laws within the law of attraction. Okay? Because there are laws within there that need to make sense. And I'm going to dive deep more into those probably a little bit down the line and maybe even next week. But today I'm going to focus on this one specifically because a lot of women are out of harmony. A lot of women are out of sync with their cycles. A lot of women are out of their body when it comes down to their emotions. So they're acting certain kind of ways. It's just a lot of stuff that's happening that we need women, honestly, I'm just being honest. As a collective, we need to raise the vibration. We need to raise our frequency. Especially women of color. I'm just going to be all the way real with you. We as a collective, we need to raise the frequency. Because there's too many of y'all sitting on the frequency of fear. And there's too many of y'all sitting on the frequency of anger. It's too many of y'all sitting on the frequency of shame and guilt and apathy. And you are destroying your life by sitting there the whole time. And then on top of that, you got the nerve to be trying to attract relationships on those vibrational states, which is crazy. If you attract someone from being on the frequency of fear, you are attracting another scary person. So basically, when y'all get together, it's going to be a nightmare. When you are attracting a person who lives on the frequency of guilt, Guilt tripping isn't too far from that. So when you have a relationship that sits on that type of frequency, you can't really be upset about that. You can't really be mad about that. Okay? So you have to understand there's a difference between attracting things from a lower level space than when you transmute up and you start attracting things from that level of space. Okay? So let's go ahead and get into emotional alchemy, transforming emotional instability into feminine power. It's 3 things I'm going to go over. We're going to talk about basically the violation of the universal law of harmony and what this looks like in your life right now. Okay? Yes, I tend to attract traumatized and the wounded. Well, baby, this one is for you. So let's go ahead and get into how this happens and what this looks like. When you rebel against the law of harmony, meaning that there is no actual agreement within self. Well, let me say this. Let me take it up a notch, because I think that people don't think, and I put this in another space in my. I put this on another page in my on my tablet, and I didn't put it with the other one. So let me go ahead and give y'all that real quick, because that's really what I want to tell y'all. Your emotional instability, especially if you are a business owner, or if you are a creative, or if you are a woman who is ambitious, your emotional instability is more than just a mood swing. It's a rebellion against the law of harmony. You are letting your external chaos dictate your inner peace, okay? And you are creating a storm that literally is going to wreak havoc on your soul. And you're not going to be able to create. You're not going to be able to respond in the way that you want to respond, all because this emotional instability that you are allowing into your space by allowing outside forces to impact what you choose to do or impact your mood is really going to be a huge problem. Because if you don't get a hold of that now, as things begin to continue to shift as they are shifting, you're not going to be able to get a hold of yourself then. And so this is why it's very important, and I'm driving home the importance of emotional mastery, because this is not the time for you to be wasting time, not making the type of money that you need to be making, because a portal is open right now in 2024. A very high level portal is open right now, and you really could be making and doing a whole lot right now, but you're sitting on it and you're sleeping on it because you're in violation, or you can't access it because you're in violation. And so I want us to come out of that, because that emotional instability is not going to work. You allowing outside forces and outside situations to control what's happening on the inside of here is not going to work, because eventually it's going to break the body down and you're not going to be able to get your peace. And the piece that I'm speaking of is the piece of the $480 billion creator economy that is projected to be here by 2027. Right now, the creator economy is at about $250 billion. What are you doing to get your piece of that pie? So that I don't be wanting to hear nothing about you. There's no money. I don't want to hear the excuses about there's no money. There's so much money out here sitting. Y'all are just not getting access to it. And you're not getting access to it because you don't have the capacity. You don't have the emotional capacity to even create, because you are so boggled down by everything else that's happening in the world that you can't get what you need done, which makes you less attractive to monetary opportunities. Because like I always tell you, money follows the energy of it, girl. Money is an energetic experience. It's an energetic exchange. So this is not, people are not just going to give you money just because you think you have a good product. You need to be able to articulate that value. And the reason why a lot of women struggle to articulate the value of what it is that they're selling is because they struggle to identify the value within self. And some of y'all need to really go back and do a lot of mindset work. And I'm going to be so honest with y'all. If you need to do this mindset work, hey, my loves, then you might want to do it now, because 2025 is not the time for you to be working on your emotions and working on your mindset. You need to be in go mode. Things need to be activated by 2025, because you're not going to have time for that. Okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. The first thing, number one, when you're violating the law of harmony, because emotional instability is not a trivial issue. You not being able to control your emotions is not a small thing. This is a huge thing. You not being able to control your emotions is a direct defiance of the universal law of harmony, because you are continuing to allow external chaos to infiltrate your inner peace. And that's why you keep having all these storms that disrupt your soul and your life. Thank you so much for these gifts. That rebellion of being in harmony Like some of y'all will get in relationships or find things and things will be going peaceful and you will be anticipating a problem. You literally are anticipating a problem that's not there, and you anticipate it so much within your mind that you actually call that reality into your space when that was never really even going to be that thing. All because you tend to want to do this and be all over the place. You should not be easily swayed or easily suckered by what someone else wants to position you for. You should always be solid on your square. And your continuous rebellion to being in harmony and allowing yourself to be in harmony is going to lead to some of the following things. Here are the consequences that come from you not doing this. Number one, it leads to chronic stress. Number two, it leads to anxiety. Number three, it leads to you feeling like you're out of control. What else? Your relationship suffers, your health declines, and your ability to focus and perform, all of that becomes severely compromised. Thank you for these gifts. And it's all because you are violating the law of harmony. You are not choosing peace for yourself. You choose the drama. See, a lot of us crack jokes about being the drama, but you really choose the drama. You like that as your reality because some of us have no other identity other than being a victim. And I'm telling you, that's not going to work. Especially going into 2025. Trust me, 2025 has its own set of victims. Believe you me, you want to be more so on your square. So you don't have time. It's time to start practicing emotional alchemy where you go from being low vibrational all the time and transmuting up, because that's not going to work where we at. That's not going to work where we are. Okay? I have a program. My program, Harmony 6, actually teaches you how to get back in rhythm. See, a huge part of the reason why women struggle with emotional stability, especially business owners, women who make a lot of money, right? It's because you're not in alignment with your menstrual cycle. I can tell you right now, if you are a woman and you are operating, you are walking right here and you are not in sync with your menstrual cycle, I can tell you right now, you are off balance. And immediately, if you are off balance, immediately your emotions in that space are going to be off balance, because your cycle has a lot to do with the way you feel and how you operate hormonally and emotionally. But because a lot of women are out of sync with their bodies and out of sync with their cycles, they don't really know what to do. They don't really know how to get in alignment. They don't really know how to deal with what they're feeling. You are overloaded every single month with a multitude of emotions that you can't handle because you're not in rhythm. You're not in your natural rhythm within yourself, and that's an issue. That's why in my program, Harmony in 6, we get you in sync with your natural cycle, with the 4 phases. We get you in sync in the space of understanding how these things impact your emotions and how hormonally these things come about. And we get you balanced and we get you in alignment within 6 weeks. That's what we do. And that alignment puts you in a position to be calmer, to have more control, and allows you to thrive. And if you're having any form of weight issues, it supports you with that as well. I don't even post the majority of the women who inbox me telling me how much weight that they've lost. One woman sent me a message maybe like a week or so, 2 weeks ago, explaining to me how she's been following me and talking about all my, seeing my stuff and getting my products and services and how it supported her. And baby, she's already down 50 pounds. There's another queen that inboxed me the other day saying, hey, I just want to update you. I got your feminine flourishing, my feminine flourishing mastery suite. I got that from you. And guess what? I went back to the doctor and now I'm down. I'm down like 50 pounds. Listen, you being emotionally all over the place is one of the reasons why you can't get that weight off. And I'm telling you, this is someone who was 90 pounds heavier than what I am now. I used to be 90 pounds heavier. I was in this position. I was emotionally unstable. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. I was all over the place. I was dealing with the consequences. I had chronic stress and I was sick. My relationships were suffering. I did have anxiety. And I did have a persistent feeling like I was out of control. And that was because I was in violation of the law of harmony. I was too busy worried about pleasing other people and doing all these other things instead of positioning myself to be first. And everything that I wanted was going to the back seat. And that ain't the way it's supposed to go. especially if you are an ambitious woman, you are a creative, you are a high powering businesswoman. You can't be around here unhinged emotionally. Like, y'all gotta make this make sense. Y'all are really saying that, yes, I want to have a six-figure business, I want to have a multi six-figure business, I want to do this, I want to do this. Baby, you can't even be quiet. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. You struggle to be quiet. You struggle to be alone with yourself. So how is it that you want all these things to come to you, and when you won't even sit with yourself long enough to even see if that's what you really even desire? Because we are out here saying a lot of stuff, but no. So let me tell you how, again, another way that you violating the law of harmony and how it's impacting you, okay? So your violation of the law of harmony is actually impacting the way you attract. See, a lot of y'all be trying to figure out, hey, my love, a lot of y'all be trying to figure out why I keep attracting the same type of men. Why it don't seem like things aren't being very consistent for me in business. Why is there, I'll make money here and then I won't make money there and da-da-da-da-da. Let me tell you something. All those unstable emotions that you have, all that energy and motion within your body that lacks stability, you're sending chaotic vibrations to the universal algorithm. Because see, the algorithm is created by the Most High, and I told you guys this, and it's the largest algorithm ever. It's the largest responder. And so when you become unstable and chaotic, you send those vibrational signals out to the universal algorithm. Okay? Which sabotages your ability to actually attract what you desire, because you're so zoned in and emotionally all over the place. You can't even handle it and hold it. You can't even handle and hold what it is that you're really asking for, because you lack the emotional stability. And because you lack the emotional stability, you start sabotaging all of your experiences, your relationships, your business. See, this is what happens when you hit big and then you start feeling like, oh my God, the fear of responsibility. Oh my God, I'm getting all over the place. Oh my God. And then the money stops and it's not coming consistently because of the unstable emotions. You need to be grounded in the fact that you are going to be taken care of as a feminine woman. If you are a feminine woman who is in alignment with the one that created you, and last time I checked, it says the righteous, you'll never find them begging for bread. Last time I checked, it said that the Most High will supply all of your needs according to his riches and glory. So what I'm trying to understand is, why is it that you really believe that you're not going to have any money? Why are you allowing it to make you or position you to act so chaotic within yourself to where you would block it from even coming your way? Money is not attracted to shaky people. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. Money is not attracted to women who are unsure of themselves. This is why men don't give you money. See, let's talk about it. See, a lot of y'all like to have these conversations about the masculine and how they invest and all these different things. Masculine men invest wisely. If they see that you are good ground, they will invest in good ground because they understand that good ground is going to produce good fruit. But if you're going to take the seed and just to go buy a bag, just to go be seen somewhere, that's not an investment. Unless you're taking that bag to actually turn around, flip it, and resell it for a higher, to bring something back, to amplify it. Sis, that's why they're not investing in you. Men don't have an issue. I work with men on a regular, right? I don't work with them directly, but I work with them in community. I have a lot of men in my community that make sure I'm good, that take care of me, that are absolutely excellent. Men don't have an issue spending money. Men don't have an issue investing. Men are just wise with their investments. They're a little bit wiser with their investments than women are. See, all women have to see is a cute package, and you're gonna buy in. That's how y'all get caught up in these with the suckers. That's how y'all get caught up with these men. You looking at you like the packaging. It's cute. That's how these cosmetic companies keep selling you the same lipstick every single year, but in different packaging, because you're a sucker for packaging. So if something is packaged well, even if it's rotten as hell on the inside, you're going to invest in it because it makes you feel a certain way because of the packaging. That's why the consumer market understands that women are the biggest buyers, which is why they always market to your feelings. And because they know that your feelings are so fickle and all over the place, they like to play with them too. See, all of this is a part of a greater plan that you are missing. And because you are missing and you're focused on the surface, you never actually get the depth that you want. You never reach the levels that you want to reach. You never make the money you want to make in business. You never attract the type of men that you really desire to be with and the ones you want to lead you. And all of these things come from you not really understanding how you're impacting this with your emotions. Being emotionally unstable is not okay. I know they've made it look cute on social media. I know they've made it look cute in reality TV, but it's not okay. And it doesn't help you ascend. It actually helps you descend. And see, society knows that, which is why they did this to everyone and why they put this out there, because they want people to go in a state of dissension, because they understand that there are certain people who get it and who are actually going to ascend, but it's going to be few. It's very few people, and I've told you guys, I've been telling you guys since last year, it's a great divide happening amongst women, the women who are seeking mastery and the women who are in mediocrity. And the women who are in mediocrity, like I said, they still ask it if men still take people on dates and still do this and still do that. When the women who are operating from a space of mastery understand that men do these things because they have the examples in front of them. They have access to these type of men and to these type of circles and to these type of opportunities because they've done their work. They understand that they belong in the room. They didn't have to do anything to get in the room because they understand that aligning with your authentic energy as a woman, your authenticity positions you and puts you in the room. And if you've done the character work, the character is what's going to help you stay in that same room. Okay? So it's very important that you understand that when you are violating the law of harmony, by allowing external things to infiltrate your inner peace, okay? What you're doing is that you're blocking what you actually can be attracting into your life experience. You are blocking it. Arguing with that clown who really don't want you, and truthfully, energetically, you really know that you don't want spiritually. Let's talk about it. The one that you keep entertaining and you keep sabotaging yourself for it is the very reason why you are not attracting people who want to come in and support you and love on you and do XYZ. For business owners, y'all trying to talk to people who don't have money to pay you. Stop. See, I'm not here. That's why I tell people, I'm not here to talk to people. I'm not here to get you to believe in yourself. This ain't that. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest with you. If that's your game right now, you might be about 3 years too late. Because you should have been doing belief work and working on your belief in 2021. Because the gravy years was 19 and 20. See, we going towards the end of the gravy years. Y'all ain't been reading scripture like y'all claim. We are rolling towards the end of these gravy years. Yes, there's still a portal open, but it's like the last one. And for a lot of women in business, y'all are sitting around making all these excuses and worried about men and worried about all this other stuff. And you need to be worried about your bag. You need to be worried about your bread. You need to be worried about securing yourself before you find yourself being a slave to something that you don't want. It's very important and it's very vital for you to be clear on yourself, so that you know that what you are attracting, being rooted in your emotions, so that you are sending out the right vibrational frequency to bring in the right type of people. Okay? So a man thinking in his heart, so is he. That's what scripture says. So, and the reason why it's telling you that, because your heart is a magnet. You have a magnetic field around you. It's not a coincidence that your heart beats. See, y'all got to really start thinking. Y'all really have to start thinking about this. Out of all the things that the Most High could have done by putting that heart in our chest, it could have did anything. It could have been doing a 2-step. Okay? But the fact of the matter is that everything starts with vibration. Your heartbeat, even me speaking to you, there's a vibration of the air coming through my throat. This is vibration. The air, the vibrating particles through the air is how you're able to hear me, because it is traveling. When you understand how these things work, you begin to get very clear about how you want to sit and where you want to sit on the vibrational scale. It's not a good deal for you to sit in fear for a long period of time. It's not a good deal for you to sit in guilt for a long period of time. It's not a good deal for you to sit in anger for a long period of time. The reason why it's not good to do these things, because all three of those things I just described to you make you sick. They make you physically ill after a while. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. They make you physically ill. So not only are you not attracting what it is that you want, you're going to get sick in the midst of that. See, some of y'all in relationships that's making y'all sick. Some of y'all think y'all got gut issues. Y'all don't think... Have y'all been paying attention? Did y'all see what Tisha Campbell said? Tisha Campbell said that she had been dealing with an illness and she was really sick. But she said when she divorced that husband of hers, she got well. See, a lot of y'all sick because of the people that you laying with. And I'm just going to tell you what it is. Some of y'all sick because of the people that you're laying with, you're playing with, and you're spending your time with. That's why you have all this anxiety and all this IBS and all these things in your chest. Because you do realize that IBS is a stress disorder, right? It comes from you being anxious. It's not a coincidence that there's a huge link between anxiety and IBS. And I tell you this as a woman who's certified as an energetic psychology practitioner. So I study emotions on a cellular level. I can tell you that you being resentful to your dad for not being in your life all those years is ruining your liver. I can tell you that eventually it's going to ruin and upset and mess up your reproductive organs, because the liver is a vital organ that supplies the eyes and the womb fresh blood. So all that resentment that you have stored up in your body for your baby daddy, your ex-husband, the people who did X, Y, Z to you, it's making you blind. It may not do it today. It may not do it tomorrow. But it's coming. And you can do the research and look at it for yourself, because everything I give you is going to come from scripture, science, and psychology. And the liver's responsibility is to supply nourishing blood, healthy nourishing blood to the eyes. And when you're angry and holding on to all that anger and letting it sit, it gets stuck in your liver, and your liver is not functioning right. So as you're going to the doctor and they're telling you, oh, you have fatty liver, you have this, you have that. It's not just because you're not eating right. See, you're not eating right because you can't control your emotions. Let's talk about it. You're not eating right because you don't see yourself as a vessel. You're filling up instead of adding fuel because you don't really understand how your body operates, and your body is actually a vehicle that takes you to where you say you want to go. But because you spend most of your time in anxiety-driven states, because you watch anxiety-driven content, you listen to anxiety-driven music, you center yourself around people who trigger your anxiety. Little Miss Anxious Attachment Style. Why do you keep chasing that man who is avoidant? Does he remind you of your daddy? See, what is that? See, let's go ahead and deal with the reality of what it is. Why are you chasing that? Because it's clearly running from you. Can we talk about it? It's clearly running from you. Your slip is showing. Your emotional stability is showing. Your inner child is showing. Your slip. When I say your slip is showing, your inner child is peeking through. Okay? Your unhealed wounds are peeking through. Your truth about how you feel about yourself is peeking through. I can see your slip. Okay? This is what happens when you're not emotionally grounded and you're not rooted in your emotions. You make decisions that are damaging and that are destructive to you. It's giving steal, kill, destroy. See, y'all be trying to blame the enemy for stealing, killing, and destroying, when the reality is you're the enemy in your own life. So you steal your own joy, you kill your own confidence, and eventually you self-destruct. That's just what it is. See, we love to try to, this person, and the devil's so busy, and da-da-da-da. You're not busy enough. You're not on your Zoom when it comes to you. And because you're not on your square, that's why everyone else gets to hop on your square and have a handy dandy time on you, while you sitting out here looking crazy. Because you lack the emotional intelligence, the emotional regulation, the emotional stability to tell people no. You want to tell them yes because you want to look like a good person. And then you want to wonder why nobody's attracted to you. Baby, what? You're easily accessible. You're everywhere. You're always available. Anything that's always accessible and always available, baby, loses its value. And if you don't believe me, let's look at the college degree, for example. Hello? Because last time I checked, baby, when everybody started getting degrees, specifically when black and brown people started to go get a whole lot of degrees, guess what happened? The value went down. The value went down of these degrees. See, it's the exact same thing that's happening with you. Your value goes down when you're that easily accessible like that, when you're always available like that. I've never seen a sucker not get licked, so stop being a sucker. The Most High didn't tell you to do that. There's no, and please don't try to use the traditional narrative that a lot of faulty Christians like to say about how you should be doing this. God ain't never told you to let yourself get treated like an animal. God ain't never told you to allow yourself to get treated like a fool. God ain't never told you to be one. Never. Told you to walk with the wise so that you could be wise. That's what was told. That's what was told to you. So the people that you are choosing into your experience based on your instability is really draining you. It's stealing your joy, killing your confidence. Okay? And you are self-destructing. So when you are in violation of the law of harmony, meaning you just don't want no peace because you keep allowing external factors and situations and people to disrupt your peace, the consequence is that this instability that you have, it repels opportunity. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. You are repelling and hindering all healthy relationships from entering into your experience. You are blocking all forms of abundance because guess what? You can't steal and have abundance. Y'all don't notice in that verse when it says in John 10:10 that the enemies come to steal, kill, and destroy, but on the other half of that it says the Messiah has come to give you life and give you life abundantly. Do you think that's a coincidence that those two were paired together like that? No, baby. It's letting you know, choose ye today. Choose which one you're going to choose today. You're going to steal your own joy by keep dealing with people who you know don't like you, who don't really care about you, who don't really prioritize you. You're stealing your own joy. Stop blaming that man. Stop blaming that client. Stop blaming your business model and get in the mirror, okay? Because it's you. It ain't nobody else but you. We need to start being honest about where we are. The problem is a lot of people don't like to tell the truth, which is why you are consistently lied to. Because you don't even want to tell yourself the truth. You're blocking abundance by being in lack. When you steal when you steal your own joy, there's no joy for you. When you kill your own confidence, there's no abundance of confidence for you. When you self-destruct, there's nothing left. Okay? Thank you, my love, for these gifts. There's nothing left. So you position yourself to fail when you choose not to really get grounded and become more emotionally stable. Y'all let anybody can trigger y'all. It is the saddest thing I've ever seen. Anybody can trigger y'all. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. Anybody can say anything to y'all and you off your rocker. Why is it that easy for you to be rocked? Because I promise you, if somebody if somebody, a human being, has the power to take your energy and your power from you, that makes them more important than God. Why are you elevating people that high? Why are you elevating people that high to where you would give your power away? But you draw the line when somebody tell you, I ain't cooking a meal for no man, but you give your power away on every day. You give your power away to him every day. I ain't doing that. But you give your power to him every day with your emotions. Baby, this person ain't thinking about you, but you are flooded with these emotions. Obsessing over something that is literally repelled by you. Because guess what? Here's the truth of the matter. Like it says in scripture, so a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. But what you have to understand about when you think in your mind, you create. And see, a lot of us as women, we grew up in the Disney era, so we love to create. We love to romanticize. We love to sit here and make up all of these different things that are happening in our life and yada, 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 yada. Okay? That are not even real. I'm going to explain how you can get your emotions in check in just a minute. That are not even real. Which is why you find yourself in cycles of frustration. Which is why you continue to miss opportunities. Because you are literally, that whatever you want is repelled by you because you keep obsessing about it here. When you obsess about something, that means you're worried about it. And it tells you in scripture not to be worried. It tells you in scripture that you should not worry. When you worry, you are in violation of the law of harmony. And when you are in violation of the law of harmony, you enter into the law of non-resistance. That's when you start forcing stuff. You want to force somebody to be with you. You want to force somebody to buy your product. You want to force somebody to listen to you. See, that's that little girl stuff. See, little girls throw tantrums, baby. And it's a lot of women that are walking around here and ain't nothing but adult children, adult little girls on the inside of them. All because you don't know how to control your emotional responses and your reactions. And that's why things are not attracted to you. Money, men, friends. Nobody wants to deal with someone who is obsessing over something. Y'all know how stalkers actually get created, how it starts? It starts as an energetic experience, okay? You start to think about this person. Then you start romanticizing this person. Then you start obsessing over this person. Then it goes into, okay, you're creating these scenarios and all these things, and you're interacting with this person or trying to interact with this person as if they have been in here this whole time with you, and they have not. So what happens? They are repelled by you. They are almost even afraid of you. And this all started with you becoming extremely obsessed mentally in your mind about this very thing. That's how money see you. See, when y'all in y'all mind talking about how I'm going to get this money by tomorrow, I don't know how I'm going to get this money, I don't know how I'm going to do this money, I don't know how I'm going to get this, I don't know how I'm going to do this money. Money is not attracted to you. Money is not attracted to you. Money is not attracted to you. Money follows the energy of an it girl. Money follows the energy of a black cat that knows her value. See, y'all don't really understand that aspect of it. So you obsess over something and it repels you. It's repelled by you. But when you detach from the outcome of something, you may just find that it may find you. Your willingness to be in alignment with the law of harmony makes it easier for you to follow the law of non-resistance, meaning you're not trying to force anything. And when you are not trying to force anything, that's when things come comfortably to you. When is the last time that you have went for something when someone was trying to force you? When was the last time you actually decided to do something because somebody was trying to force you to do it? Right, exactly. I know for sure I ain't finna do it. And I'm a Sagittarius, babe. Please don't tell me. Please don't try to force me to do nothing. I'm absolutely not. Just because you're trying to force me to do it. The force aspect of it is, see, there's a difference between force and power. And see, a lot of people think force is power, but only people who operate in darkness, in full darkness, think that force is power. People who understand the balance of both light and darkness know that force actually isn't power. That power actually stands alone. Power doesn't even have to make a sound. Power isn't loud. It's felt though. It's felt, but it's not loud. If you want to stop if you want to start, or let me say this, if you don't stop violating the law of harmony by allowing external things to disrupt your internal peace, okay, you're going to find yourself always missing out. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. By mastering your emotions through cycle syncing specifically, you can transform this chaos of you being all obsessed and you being all over the place and you not understanding yourself. You can shift that into developing the energy that is really powerful, that is really magnetic, and you will just be a force. See, this is the thing, queens. When you understand, feminine women don't force because they are force. See, I don't force anything because I am a force. I don't have to push people into doing anything. My authentic energy, you're going to feel it. I don't have to force myself onto you. And you make yourself look foolish when you try to force things. Be in flow. A lot of y'all are not attracting the type of money that you want in business, or even the type of friends that you want, because you're not in flow. You're not being authentic. You're wearing a mask. You're code switching. Code switching is for suckers. And I'm just going to tell you what it is. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. Code switching is for suckers. Code switching is what people do when they don't understand that they are power. When you understand that you are in a position of power, you don't switch the code. You exemplify the code. You are the code. You exude the code. You understand what I'm saying? You don't do that. This is why a lot of people, even scammers, do well, because they can pretend like they got the code very well, enough to attract people. But y'all really be having a code and you want to sit on it. Y'all want to stay in sin. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. And when I say you want to stay in sin, you want to stay doubting, you want to stay scared, and you want to stay lusting for something that you ain't even really ready to get up there and you can't even hold it. Because the reality is, sin by definition means to miss the mark. And you missing the mark because you too scary. You missing the mark because you doubting every single thing, and you missing the mark by sitting back lusting after what everybody else got instead of actually doing what you need to do. So all that desire with no action gonna create some jealousy, and it's gonna make you create these false stories. I know they gotta be doing something. I know they ain't get that money like that. Why? Because you ain't. Why? Because you ain't. See, let's get into it. Everybody ain't out here scamming. Everybody ain't out here scamming and lying. Okay? Some folks actually are in alignment spiritually, and they actually are receiving. Because last time I checked, it did say, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and his righteousness, and everything else will be added unto you. Huh? So you want to ask yourself why things are not being added unto you? Maybe because you're not seeking the kingdom. Well, where should I be seeking? Ain't the kingdom of heaven within you, according to Luke 17:21? When the last time you checked in for real with you? Are we still lying? Okay, number 3. So let's get into this third piece of you violating the universal law of harmony, and how it's impacting your ability to be able to attract, and why you need emotional alchemy ASAP to transform your instability into feminine power. Okay? Number 3. Excuse me. The necessity of emotional mastery. Okay? Living without emotional mastery means that you are a prison to your own hormonal fluctuations. And a lot of y'all are. A lot of y'all really believe that y'all moody, and a lot of y'all really believe y'all be PMSing. Oh, the lies society like to tell you to believe so you can buy their pills and buy into their potions and buy into every single thing that they want you to buy into, because they are dependent. They are depending on you, depending on them, and being sick. You're not moody. You're not even PMSing. And the reason why you're cramping, that's an even more issue. I mean, it's so much to that as well. But here's the reality of it. You're not in sync with your cycle. And society doesn't want you to be in sync with your cycle, which is why they didn't teach you this. And they didn't teach us this in elementary school. They didn't teach us that it's 4 phases of your cycle, that you literally become 4 different women in 1 month. And if you're an adult and you add your inner child that you haven't done your work on, and your inner teen, you got 6 people in you, baby. 6. And all 6 need to be managed by the adult. And the reason why your life is running amok the way it is because there's no adult in charge. Because when children run amok, guess what? There's always going to be chaos. And children are the one that throw tantrums, cursing people out, getting loud and doing all. See, these are things that children do. This is what you do when you're sitting at the children's table. When you don't really understand and you're not in alignment with yourself, you don't really know how this works. See, society didn't teach you that if you got in alignment with your 4 phases, that you actually would heighten your creative abilities in your mind. Instead, they took away all the creative programming in school so that you could become a slave to their systems. Because they knew that if you really got in tune with the 4 phases of your cycle, you would probably be able to create amazing things, and you'd be able to create it with ease. Many women ask me, how did you build your business from the ground up? I use cycle syncing formula that I teach my clients. So that's how I made my first $100,000 with ease, without hustling, without being tired, without looking exhausted, without being all over the place, because I was very much so grounded and rooted in my emotions. When people got on live and they get on live and they try to say things, I don't even do a clap back. Every once in a while I make an example, but I allow the Holy Spirit to make that example, and I read them from that space, okay? And otherwise, I just simply block them. Because I'm not swayed emotionally by people that I do not know. Hell, I'm barely swayed by people I do know. Why? Because guess what? I have been rooted and grounded in this key principle of this spiritually. Do not be conformed of this world, okay? But be transformed by the daily renewing of your mind. I daily renew my mind on who I am spiritually, because I understand that I am a spirit being having a human experience that's also having a psychological experience in that human experience. So if you are not grounded spiritually, if you are not grounded and hormonally, biologically, if you are not grounded psychologically, get ready for a breakdown. Prepare for it. Whether a breakdown in your mind or a breakdown in your body. And it all starts because of the violations that are happening you're violating in the spirit, like the law of harmony. So when you choose drama because peace is too boring for you, you're choosing illness, you're choosing sickness, you're creating blocks in your life. And that's why you're not getting what it is that you want. You're unable to receive. So emotional mastery is not something like, oh, I just need to do that. Yeah, that's a good idea. You might want to do it. You might want to start doing it now. Because if you're not paying attention to what's happening in world events, baby, you're going to get hit in the face. You're going to get hit with the flex. And don't come looking for me because I'm going to be gone. Because I've been telling y'all for about 3 years now. I've been putting women in position and helping women make more money for the last 3 years. I've been supporting my clients in going from 5 figures to 6 figures, multi-6 figures. I've been supporting my clients in attracting the type of partners and suitors and friends that they want. I have been supporting my clients in elevating their marriages and different things that are struggling by understanding feminine communication. This ain't the time for you to be emotionally unhinged. Because what you going to do with it? How you going to act when the dollar crash? See, if you're not rooted in the belief that the Most High supplies all your needs and that you've never seen the righteous begging for bread, if you're not rooted in that, if you don't believe that, if you're not really true to that, when the dollar crashes, you're going to cry. You're going to lose your mind. When they tell you that you can't do X, Y, Z, you're going to flip. When everything that you thought you knew comes and crashes down, you're going to lose it. You're going to lose it. So if you are not doing the work to become grounded spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, you're going to suffer physically. And I'm just telling you, you're going to suffer physically. Anything that is manifested in the physical world starts initially in the spiritual realm. And if you are not honoring that, if you are not attentive to that, then you are literally, you in a bad position, baby. You in a real bad position, okay? Living without emotional mastery means that you're being a prisoner, and this to your hormonal fluctuations, leading to constant overwhelm and imbalance. See, now you're in a doctor and they're telling you you're sick. Now they're telling you got polycystic ovarian syndrome. Now they're telling you have fibroids. All these things have roots, and a lot of them are tied back to your emotions, which are rooted in spiritually where you are. It's not a joke. When I think about, and there's a book by Louise Hayes called "You Can Heal Your Body," and I remember when I was suffering with some illnesses, and the Most High had finally put me in position to start elevating myself, and I lost 90 pounds, and all the symptoms that they told me I was going to have to be on, birth control, and all that stuff they told me I was going to have to be on because they diagnosed me with polycystic ovarian in 2004. I reversed all that stuff in 6 months by just listening to the Most High, getting in sync with my cycle. My cycle been coming consistently for the last 7 years. Then people told me I was going to have to be on pills, do this, do that. I had a cluster of, my ovaries looked like I had a cluster of pearl necklace around them. I'm telling you what I know. Used to be in the hospital, cysts breaking off, baby. I can't even hardly walk. I am telling you, those things have root issues. And guess what? During that time frame, when my womb was in a space where it couldn't create, I had no creativity. And I've been a poet and been an artist and been creative since I was in the 3rd grade. But in that time frame, when I was struggling with my womb, I couldn't create out of a bag. And I was a slave to a corporation that did not support me. And it was not looking to see me successful. And it was actually making me sick. Okay? It was making me sick. And it was making me sick because I was not in, and it wasn't them making me sick. It wasn't the job making me sick. I made myself sick because I was in violation of the law of harmony. I was allowing external forces to to dictate my energetic experience. I was doing that. And that is what made me sick. So when we're talking about emotional mastery from a space of that, okay, this lack of control of your inner world when you're in that type of space, how can I describe it? You can't manifest. So I don't care about all the rituals y'all doing. See, and that's the nut. Don't get me started. Don't piss me off this morning. All them rituals and all that stuff that y'all trying to do to try to get yourselves together, ain't none of it gonna work if you're not in alignment. And for those who like to sit out, well, yeah, I just need to, go and get, and I need to balance my chakras. See, hold on. Hold your horses. Okay? Because let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about that system. Because the chakra system technically is nothing but your hormones. It's your hormonal system. That's it. Your endocrine system is going up. It's your hormones. So don't let these people get on this app and tell you, oh, you just need to balance this. You need to balance your sacral chakra, which is where your womb is located. And you just need to do this and say affirmations. No, baby. You need to reset on that womb because that womb is now a wasteland. There are stored emotions in that place that need to go. Those stored emotions have you eating things that are making that area even worse. See, they're not telling you what it is. They're not telling you what it is. This is the work. And when you are in business, I just need to take time off so I can heal. No, ma'am. You are healing on the way up. You want to talk about healing? Let's get into it. Best friend died. Okay? I'm supposed to go and we do a nonprofit. And the year that I'm supposed to quit my job, and she quit her, she dies. 6 months before it's supposed to happen. Okay? 6 months before it's supposed to happen. What did I do? Took that time, my spiritual awakening happened, woke up and realized what it was that I was supposed to be doing. Okay? Healing on my way up. That's what I was doing. Guess what else happened? A couple of years later, got divorced. Crushing. Crushed me. Because I'm definitely a lover girl. Didn't want to do that. But hey, this is what we finna do. This where it's pushed at. This we finna do. So, did that. Okay? What did I do? Did I take a year off? Did I sit in pain? Did I just struggle? No, I built a 6-figure business right after that. I healed on the way up. I healed on the way up. Okay? I got pissed off about something last week. And I created a service instead of sitting on that frequency of anger called the Eclipse Your Chaos Session. And women been booking out that service like crazy because they know they need emotional mastery. What are you doing with the emotions in your body instead of letting them, or are you just letting them run all throughout and attack your organs? Because you don't know what to do. You don't know how to transmute that energy. You don't know how to rise above the turbulence. Like, what are we doing? And you think, like, y'all want things that you emotionally don't have the capacity for. You don't have the capacity for a healthy relationship. You ain't did no work. You don't have the capacity to be making $25,000 a month in your business. You have not done the internal work to even believe you worth that. So when you get it, you're going to blow it because you don't really believe that you even worthy of that. It's ridiculous at this point. Women need to tap into emotional alchemy now. Y'all are too unhinged on these apps. Y'all are too unhinged in these folks' comments. Y'all are in these comments arguing with men, arguing with folks trying to help you. And you are just all over the place. It is ridiculous. It is time out for that. Y'all gonna miss the last of this arc being open in 2024. Because you are focused on the wrong things. You got less than 5 months left in this year. And you literally could take these next 5 months and elevate your emotional intelligence, regulate your emotions. Because the things that are coming, y'all ain't been prepping, so y'all don't know what's coming. Y'all ain't been paying attention, so y'all gonna get hit with the flex. And that is the worst thing that can happen right now in this world. For you as a woman, especially if you have people who are depending on you, like your children or your family. That's ridiculous. It's time to get rooted. It's time to grow up. We do not want to grow up. We don't want I just want a man to come take and pay these bills. We don't want responsibility. Grow up, baby. Choose to be responsible or choose to be a slave to somebody else. But pick one. Pick one. Because you need to take ownership for where you are, starting with your emotions. If you remain stuck in a cycle of mediocrity because you don't want to master your emotions, okay? You're going to be unable to break free and rise above your true, rise into who you really are supposed to be, the fullness of who you're supposed to be. Your ambitions and your dreams are going to go unfulfilled. So that means you're going to end up being depressed about that because nothing seems to be happening for you, okay? So you're going to constantly feel like you're at a fight. You're in a fight with yourself. And a woman who is constantly at war with herself has no choice but to be in battle with other people. That's why you fighting with your friends. That's why you can't seem to not argue with other people. You can't seem to not fight or get into it with other people or have issues with other people. It's because of the issues you are having with yourself. You're not grounded and rooted in your own emotions. Dangerous, baby. And then y'all are saying y'all want masculine men to come into a toxic wasteland. Y'all want these people to come into spaces where you're not spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, or socially secure. And then you want to push all of that onto somebody else. I wouldn't want to be with you neither. I wouldn't want to deal with you neither. I'm not dealing with nobody that's emotionally unstable. See, one key thing about me is stability. See, a lot of women talk about stability when it comes down to men. And they always speak in more so in the financial aspect of it. But see, when I speak about stability when it comes down to anyone, man, woman, child, I'm speaking about inner stability. Because if you have inner stability, then you can create external stability. But the reason why a lot of people are not externally stable, and it's evident, is because there's no internal stability. None. Absolutely none. Okay? The necessity of emotional mastery is so key, and cycle syncing is the pathway to really help you reclaim your power. If you don't know how you operate hormonally, then you don't know what you need to be eating during certain phases of your cycle. And if you don't know what you need to be eating during certain phases of your cycle, that means you're losing certain things within that phase of that cycle. And when you're losing those things, those essential vitamins and those essential minerals within your body that you actually need, it messes with your mood. You're not moody. You're not in sync with your cycle. You don't know what to do. And it's okay that you don't know what to do. But the question is, now that you know that you don't know what you're doing, what you going to do now? What are you going to do about it now? Are you going to continue on the same path? Or are you going to look at programs such as like the program I have called the Harmony in 6 Weeks program that literally supports you in getting in harmony, in sync with your cycle, so that your creativity can be enhanced, so that your productivity can be enhanced, and so that you really can see financial growth. Y'all not making no money because you emotionally you're stunted. You're not mature enough. See, it tells you in scripture that he who is faithful with a little can be trusted with a lot. But here's the thing about it. The reason why you can't be trusted with a lot, you can't handle your little. Money is energy. Your emotions are energy. If you can't handle the energy and motion within your own body, you think you're going to handle this kind of motion? You ain't. The reason why you can't manage what you eat is because you can't manage your energy and motion. Because when you get sad, you're going to get ice cream. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. See, when you can't manage yourself, you cannot manage resources outside of yourself. And when you understand that normally how you do one thing is normally how you do all things, then you'll begin to see the pattern in your life. But you're going to have to start making some different type of decisions, because you being in violation of the law of harmony, okay, is that rebelling against the law of harmony is throwing your whole life out of whack. It's impacting what it is that you attract and who you attract into your experience, okay? And it's also revealing your inability to be able to attract what it is that you truly, truly want. I have courses that break down what you should eat. I don't give that information because I'm gonna tell you something. The formula of how to do this, I'm not going to give y'all on this app for free ever. Because that, right, and I'm gonna be honest with you, that's $1 million formula. Now, you can go to Google and try to do these things yourself, but I'm not going to give that, because that is something women who come and get that are women who are ready to change their lives. That requires an investment. That requires a high level investment, because we don't value things that we get for free. That's why I don't give book recommendations. Women love to collect knowledge and not do shit. We are in a state right now. You don't need to be doing that. You don't need another book. You don't need another. You need to be implementing, and you need to be getting under someone who actually can give you the blueprint of how to do this. And in my Harmony in 6 program, I give you the full blueprint on how to become in sync with your cycle. Because guess what? If you're not in sync with your natural rhythm, you're always going to be thrown off rhythm by external things. You're going to live your life in violation of the law of harmony, which means you will not have any peace. And peace is a spiritual fruit. And if you can't get peace, that means that you can't create from that vibrational state. That means you never get to the vibrational state of peace. And if you never get to the space of you never get to this space of peace, that means that you're not going to have it. You're not going to access it. It's not going to be around you. You're going to find yourself constantly in struggle. What if you no longer have a cycle? You still have a hormonal cycle. You still have a hormonal cycle that's happening on the inside of your body, even if you are not physically having a cycle. Now, this is what I tell women right here. If you are a woman and you have blockages and you're not having a cycle, like you're having issues specifically with fibroids, I'm going to tell you that you need to go see Sasha Rosa first, because Sasha is going to help you get your cycle back consistently, okay? Because she's going to get you on a reset. I am the one who can teach you how to use that cycle to create income, to attract more, to manifest more things. And my track record is impeccable. Okay? So I'm not new to this. I'm very, very true to it. But women need to understand that human creativity is an irreplaceable asset according to the World Economic Forum. And a lot of women are struggling to create, literally and figuratively. And that's why you're not seeing no figures, because you are not in sync with yourself. If you are wanting to be more in sync with yourself, I have 2 options that can support you. Okay? If you schedule a Eclipse Your Chaos session with me, which is $197, you get that with Klarna Affirm and Afterpay. We're going to cover one of the 3 areas. Either you need a frequency shift, or you may need a detachment strategy, a depersonalization strategy, meaning you need to learn how to master detachment, okay? Or we need to focus on energy management. If energy management is the case, and it could be your cycle, based on how you answer the questions in the quiz, I will give you a plan around that. I will not give you the formula the formula you won't have access to unless you join the Cycle in 6, the Harmony in 6 program. Because you'll have the formula. You'll know exactly what you need to be eating. You'll know exactly what you need to be doing. You'll know exactly how to plan things. You know exactly when you should be, what time of the month you are more vibrant. You'll know when the time frames you need to rest. You'll know exactly what you need to be doing during the time when you are physically releasing. There are things that you should be doing when you are physically releasing. And if you are not doing those things, you are setting up your next month, which is your next cycle, to be painful, to be emotionally exhausting and hard, okay? And for you to be extremely imbalanced. And if you keep going month to month to month without doing that, you are adding more imbalance onto your life. Let's talk about how illnesses and diseases form. Those fibroids grow. That happens over time. And a lot of time over a period of years. You don't understand when you see, it's either thing. You're either, every single day you wake up, you are either building yourself up or you are destroying yourself. Figure it out. It's one or the other, okay? So in that Eclipse Your Chaos session, we're going to go over one of whatever your main issue is so that we can get you back in sync. And you're going to leave me with a full-fledged plan, okay? The other option is the Harmony in 6 program, which is a 6-week program. Right now, the program until tomorrow is $9.97. You get 6 weeks with me. You guys know $9.97 is basically my hourly rate. But you get 6 weeks with me where I am walking you through the process of cycle syncing. And I am helping you get yourself back in a state of balance. Just like my client Soraya said when we did her testimonial live, which I'm going to post on YouTube. It's up there, but I haven't made it public. She talked about as soon as she got in sync with her cycle, her creativity started flowing. It just started pouring from her. When she realized what she needed to be doing during the aspect of her cycle, and when she was releasing, she opened herself up to receive massively. And she started receiving these massive downloads, and now she's creating. And she said, you know, you taught me that business really isn't hard. The hard part is doing the work within yourself. That's what it is. So the options are, if you are struggling with emotional mastery, are schedule your Eclipse Your Chaos session. You can click the link in the bio and hit the About L section and scroll all the way down, and you can click the button and get that session. And those sessions are going up July 1. So they're $197 right now. That's going to be over with. I'm just telling you, it's going to be over with. So those are $197. You can get that right now. And then I have the cycle syncing. I'm sorry, not the cycle syncing. I have the Harmony in 6 weeks cycle syncing emotional mastery intensive for women who are serious, who are ambitious, and who actually want to elevate their creativity. Women who want to get their piece of the $480 billion projected creator economy by 2027. If you want your piece of the pie, you need to be in sync with your cycle. I'm just telling you the truth. If you want your piece of this $480 billion projected creator economy that's supposed to be projected by 2027, if you want a piece of that, you need to be in sync with your cycle so you know how to create in the midst of chaos. Because see, some of y'all can't create and can't do things when things around you are going crazy around you, which is why you start panicking when things happen, because you lack faith. You're not rooted. You're not grounded. This is why it tells you in scripture to literally have the scripture tattooed on your heart, because it's a grounding tool. It's a grounding tool to remind you that, hey, things are always working out in your favor. They're working out the way that they need to be. And you don't need to be worried about that, because is worry going to add another hour to your life? And see, the Most High really be funny, because actually when you worry, it takes an hour from your life. And if you don't believe me, check out the science, because worry weakens the immune system. Specifically, it weakens the spleen. And worry is a form of anxiety. So when you go to the doctor and they tell you have IBS, the real reason why you have IBS is because your spleen has been affected by all of that worry. So when you worry like that, your spleen, literally, it gets down to the marrow of your bones, and T stem cells are sent out to your spleen. So your spleen now, which was the quality control vessel in your body, now becomes a host or a house of inflamed cells. And guess what that means? That means that there's now issues with your digestive issues. You now have digestion issues because your spleen is not working right. So when you go to the doctor and they tell you, oh, you have IBS, that means you have irritable bowel syndrome. That means there's a cluster of symptoms that are happening and you fit in this category. They're not helping you get to the root of the issue. The root of the issue is your anxiety. And that's what I support my clients in getting rid of. Because a lot of my clients come to me, and I'm telling you, the women that come to me, my clients, the majority of my nurses, see, the people that y'all go see, they come see me. The people that y'all go see, they come see me. Doctors, nurses, therapists, counselors, yeah, nurse practitioners. I had recently, I posted about anxiety and IBS, and a nurse practitioner said, oh my goodness, you are so on point with this. This is accurate. When I break down the chakra system in regard to your kidneys and your adrenals around that specific area, nurses have come to me and said, oh my goodness, you are on point with that. Yeah. The energy and motion within your body determines a lot. So if you don't get a hold of that those emotions and that energy and motion within your body, it's going to break the body down. And you don't want it to break the body down, because then you can't operate to the fullness in which you want to operate. Okay? So that's all I got for y'all today. I want y'all to be clear. Click the link in the bio to get access to these products and services. Please. Let me tell you what I don't need. I don't need people to be like, oh my goodness, this is so good. I want y'all to do y'all work. Because I don't think y'all understand that the arc is closing. I don't think y'all understand that what you do in the next 5 months is going to literally determine your next 5 years. Do what you want with that information, but I'm just here to tell you, okay? So click the link in the bio for the women who are ready to actually do their work, who are healing on their way to the top. For those who want to sit at the bottom and be arguing, having mediocre conversations about what men are doing and what they're not doing, have at it. But I won't be joining you in that, okay? I'm only interested in women who are seeking mastery. So this ain't the time for all that other stuff. Get yourself together emotionally, or you will not have the capacity to attract the type of money you think you want, or even the type of relationship that you want. And you will continue to stay in a cycle of toxic foolishness with yourself because you refuse to get out of the toxic relationship you have with yourself. To constantly be all over the place and have your energy and motion irregulated is literally you being in a toxic relationship with yourself. You have never been in a toxic relationship with anyone else. The only relationship that you have been in that has been truly toxic has been the one you've been with yourself, because you've been a chooser. Okay? So with that being said, click the link in the bio. I've got to go. I hope that y'all have an amazing weekend. DM me if y'all have any questions about any of the products or services that you see on my links, and I will talk to y'all soon. Thanks, y'all.